Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm very excited to do because as you see I'm starting with the bare face and I'm going to be trying a lot of newly launched, mostly drugstore products. But before we get started, I would like to welcome new visitors and viewers to my channel. Hi, my name is Eve and I love all things beauty. Here on my channel I talk about makeup, skincare, hair care, and at times travel and fashion. And if that sounds like you think, I hope you stick around and subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's dive in. Today is going to be pretty much first impressions. I did swatch most of these products when I got them. Of course, I couldn't help myself. I didn't try anything, so it will be a first impressions video today. I will do overview and application of all these products, and at the end of this video, I will give you my final first impression thoughts. Throughout the next several weeks, I will be trying and testing all these products, and then you will see my more roundup final thoughts in a monthly updated roundup video. I do have a new blurring tint foundation formula from NYX Cosmetics to try. I am a combination oily skin. I do have more visible pores on my T-zone and my forehead is the oiliest. So I usually like to dispense some of the product here. I got mine in the shade 04 Light Neutral. This is what the shade looks like. Seems to be a little liquidy texture. Not too liquid. I'm gonna apply it with my sponge. I do not detect any scent from the product. So this is one very thin layer of a product. I do see a decent medium coverage and I notice that the product settles into a soft matte finish pretty quick. I love the coverage and I also really love the finish. Slightly bit smoothing. I still see a little bit of my pores here. I have to say it looks very natural. It does not seem to accentuate anything, which I love. And I think this shade worked out for me pretty well. For my concealer, I'm using the new IRL Filter Finish Soft Matte Concealer from Makeup Revolution in the shade C3. It has a very interesting doe foot applicator and I'm going to apply it here. The formula does not seem to be very runny. This concealer is supposed to give me full coverage and soft, blurred out matte finish. Also had if you have blueness, like a darkness under your eyes, it's supposed to cover really well. So we will see that. For the last 3 days, I've been waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So yes, I do have some blueness. Here's one thin layer. I do not see full coverage at all. Let me add a little bit more product. Now I think I got a little extra coverage, a little bit better than the first time around, but I do not find this being a full coverage. I still see my blueness. It looks very natural though. There's still a little bit of somewhat glowiness going on. I do like the texture of it. It does feel comfortable. It was not scented. It is that very nice, comfortable, semi-liquid formula that is really easy to blend. And the shade, I think, works with my overall complexion. I don't think it's too brightening or too dark for my eye area. I'm gonna go ahead and set my eye area right away. And I'm gonna be using the new Milani Conceal Plus Perfect Blur Out Powder. And I got mine in the shade 01 Translucent. It does have a little protective lid and a net. I personally love when there is a net like this. I feel like it's preventing from too much product coming out. So far, I think that this powder is so soft. I noticed that it does give me a blurring effect. I really like this. I would like to set my entire T-zone with this, but I'm gonna switch to a puff. And just like I thought, it looks very fine and kind of blurring, but it moved my foundation here. So to set the perimeter of my face, I would really like to revisit this foundation. This is a powder foundation from JUVIA'S. I already have tested this in the full review video of both foundation and powder foundation. And I do have a wear test of this specific foundation on my TikTok account. I'm going to use a little bit denser brush because it is a powder foundation and I would like to set the perimeter of my face. Quality of this powder foundation is really nice. Semi-soft formula that does have a little bit of a fallout. However, it does give you that opportunity to blend it really nicely onto skin. It doesn't look powdery on the face, so it looks really natural on skin and applies definitely better with a brush than with that little sponge that came with this. Usually I would say powder foundation would give you a really high coverage, at least a medium or a medium buildable. I found this being very common with powder foundations. This is a very sheer formula. I do not have a new bronzer or more eyebrow products to try, so I just pulled a few products from Shop My Stash. What I'm really excited to try today is this blush from ColourPop. This is from their newly launched collection. It's a Small World. It's in the shade Around the World. This blush did not swatch well, so I will be just directly applying it on my face. I'm picking it up with my fluffy brush. This color is definitely a little bit more unique to my collection. That's why it appealed to me. It's definitely light, but I feel like it gives me an option to build up the color little by little. The color comes off pretty sheer. However, I think that the shade is true to color. Definitely more on that lighter side, but I think I'm gonna leave it at that for now. Next, I would like to try the new You Glow Girl Baked Highlighter from J.Cat. I have mine in the shade Crimson Gleam. It just seems to have a little bit of a glitter. I think this highlighter is considerably new. However, I purchased it on sale at Ulta. It definitely seemed to be building up. I think that's very pretty. I personally like a little bit brighter highlighter. This doesn't scare me at all. I definitely think that you can go a little bit lighter handed with this, but it's still not a subtle highlighter. This highlighter does have that pink tint to it, so definitely work with this pink blush, almost like a blush topper situation. Milani recently also launched this 6-pan eyeshadow palette, and there were a few in the range, and I got mine in the shade 140, the Wind Down. In the past, I wasn't really a fan of Milani eyeshadow formulas. This said to be an improved eyeshadow formula, so I really hope it is better than what they've been recently launching. But this is not a tutorial video, but I'm gonna create a look and I'm gonna speed through this process for you. This palette is pretty straightforward. There are 3 mattes here and then 3 shimmers. I'm just gonna build up the depth from lightest to darkest in mattes and then just mix the shimmer shades on over my lid. It's gonna be a super basic look. I just want to test the formula. Now I'd like to intensify the look and use this new eyeliner from Fenty Beauty. I picked up mine in the shade in Big Truffle 02, which is a brown shade. It has a really nice pointed applicator, and I also really love that the cap sits on the back of the pencil so it doesn't get lost anywhere. The liner seems to be a very nice formula and easy to work with. The felt tip applicator is super pointed and it is really easy to get into like corner of your eye or very close to your lash line. I really love this brown shade. However, I'm not sure if I'm really loving with this eye makeup look. I think I would prefer a black eyeliner here, but I just really wanted to test this today. So I also have a new eyelashes to try, which are super cool. This is from Eyelure London, and look at this extreme cat eye style. I'm really excited to try this. It can be a really cool thing or a complete disaster, but we'll get to find out. And then in one of my previous videos, I mentioned that I ordered this Kiss Glue lash liner, but in the clear shade. And I wanted to see if it's going to be as good as the black one. If these are not the coolest lashes I've ever put on my eyes, I don't know what is. I have quite a few lip products that I purchased recently. For my lips, I think I'm gonna go with the shade No Doubt from e.l.f. And I'm going to mix it with this Makeup Revolution cream in the shade Chai Nude. This looks really beautiful and the formula is super creamy and comfortable and the pigment is so lovely. I'm just gonna tap this in the middle of my lips and make it look like it's a gradient of color. Okay, the makeup is finished and now it's time I give you my first impression thoughts, and let's start in the order that I applied the product on my face. I really like the NYX Blurring Tint Foundation. I thought the shade was really lovely, it was really easy to apply, just melted on my skin. And to remind you, I did not have any primer on my face, so I think my skin looks really nice and smooth, so I do not have any complaints. I really like the soft matte finish and I really think that it gave me a blurring effect. As far as this IRL Makeup Revolution concealer, it was a lovely formula. It applied really easily. It built up the coverage also. However, it didn't give me the full coverage that I promised. As far as this Conceal Plus Perfect Milani powder, I really like the effect. It is a very, very finely milled powder, absolutely weightless on skin. Didn't look powdery on my face and it was really easy to apply with a brush. I am a combination oily skin. I definitely need to test this powder, see if it's like long wearing or if it's suitable for my T-zone or for overall set. setting. However, my first impression was positive. The ColourPop blush I really liked. I really appreciate that it is not super pigmented formula and it gives you the opportunity to build up the color. I think it's a beautiful bubblegum color that is not too cool of a tone. This JCat highlighter was pretty fun. It's definitely more of your brighter formula. Like I did mention earlier, I do find that this formula has small glitter particles, but they're very, very fine. Definitely has that pink shift. However, it does work very well with the pink blush. This highlighter is definitely more of your bright formula. So if you prefer more subtle highlighters, I don't think this product is for you. Let's talk about Milani eyeshadows. To be honest with you, I do not think that this is very much improved formula. I am not impressed. I don't see myself really reaching for this. It took me a long time to build up these mattes. That this specific matte shade actually is not matte, it's more of a satin. It definitely does have that satiny sheen to it. It really took me forever to build up this shade and I really struggled building this one up. It's very powdery. There's a ton of fallout from both mattes and shimmers. These shimmers that I put on my lid, they do not adhere to the lid if they're dry. You have to absolutely spray them if you want them to adhere to the lid and also be a little bit more reflective. The shade that actually performed nicely out of all these shades here, it was this shimmery shades that I put in my inner corner and brow bone. The eyeshadows overall look really nice and smooth on the eye. It's not a terrible formula. It's definitely workable. I think if you like very subtle both mattes and shimmers, I think you may enjoy this. For my liking, I don't see myself reaching for this palette. I enjoyed using this Fenty eyeliner, very beautiful brown shade. I was on the hunt to add a new liquid brown eyeliner. Very pointed tip applicator, was really easy to apply and get close to your lash line. Formula didn't run and also was pretty opaque. So far I like this one. As far as the lipsticks formula, I think they're going after NARS packaging here. I do happen to have two NARS lipsticks here, and here's the mini that has the same matte coating. Definitely giving me a NARS packaging vibes right here. And also here I have a NARS packaging that is like original size. It does have that beautiful magnetic caps. Definitely looks like it was inspired by NARS products, but let me know what you think of that. But the formula is beautifully pigmented, creamy, easy to apply, does not run. These neutral shades that I picked look absolutely gorgeous. I may even pick up more shades. I don't know. I have a pretty extensive lipstick collection. I was not thinking to add any more, but this formula is really, really good. And as far as this Makeup Revolution lip cream, it does have that a little bit thicker formula that I felt like I needed to pat with my finger. I do notice, however, a minty scent. It's not the most pleasant minty scent. I am generally very sensitive to scents in cosmetic products. I only can smell it from here or when I initially apply it. However, now that it's on my lips, I do not detect the scent. I don't think I will be wearing this specific shade on its own. I definitely feel like I need something a little bit darker, like a little bit more defined on the outside of my lips. And can we just for a second talk about these eyelashes? I think these are the coolest eyelashes I've ever tried or seen in my life. I just want to say that they do have a thicker band and I can feel them on my eyes. It's not terrible, but I can definitely feel that I have eyelashes on. This sums up my video. I hope you enjoyed it, found it helpful and entertaining. Let me know if you had your eyes on any of these products, if you already tested any of these, and if you enjoy watching this video, give this a big thumb up and I invite you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today, and I will see you in my next videos. Bye.